Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air after Disney suspended him for nearly a week. And he broke down saying it was never his intention to make light of Charlie Kirk's assassination. He thanked supporters on both sides and admitted he didn't agree with Disney's decision. The real question is, do you buy his sincerity and did Disney make the right call here?
Um, so I mean that's a loaded question, as always. I mean, you're good at those. Um, I would say that Disney made the right call, putting him back on the air. I think this is a little bit of a nothing burger, and the reason I think that is because, you know, honestly, and yeah, there's some personal bias involved in this, but of all of the late night guys, to me, Jimmy Kimmel is weak. Meaning like I don't that just is maybe it's just myself, but he's boring to me. I just don't see it. I don't think he's that funny. I prefer pretty much everybody over him. So putting him back on the air to me, I had to laugh because we talk about bias in the media a lot. And I was reading an article from a more left wing source, and it said Jimmy Kimmel comes back. It was just stunning, amazing, the response that we got. And, the crowd gave him a standing ovation and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, of course the crowd gave him a standing ovation. They paid to go see him. Like the crowd is going to be positive no matter what. So that's a given, of course. You got to realize that 23% of the market that they broadcast to did not play him. So because there were two major organizations, Sinclair and the other one they refused to put him back on the air. So another interesting stat I saw that's also being pushed by more of the liberal community is that he's back and he's stronger than ever because look at his YouTube views are through the ceiling and way higher. Well, of course, there's more people watching him on YouTube because they're not able to see him in that 23% of the market. So, I think that's going to die down over time. He's going to get back to normal. I think he sucked it up a little bit in his. I listened to his entire monologue. I think that it was very carefully scripted to satisfy all of the powers that be. He sort of quasi didn't exactly apologize, but he made it more clear, and he did everything that Disney wanted him to do, I think. And yeah, I don't know. It was just it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't super genuine. I didn't think. I don't know. I mean, that's just my take on the whole thing.
I think that ABC, the only reason why they put him back on is, and you'll probably relate to this better than me, Mike. It's kind of like when restaurants do what I call a soft closing. I don't even
Hmm.
know if that's a
Hmm.
word.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
going to close,
Yep.
but then NBC's local affiliate comes in and interviews them and talks about how they're shutting down. And then they get this boost of sales. So they'll stay open like maybe several months beyond when they said they're going to close because they're making money off of closing. And
Exactly.
that's what I see with ABC. It's like, okay, we'll keep bringing him back as long as these numbers are
Hmm.
up. We're making
Hmm.
money off of the controversy. But I think once things calm down, you'll see later on, it may be a year from now, he'll get a calm firing. It'll be a quiet
Yes.
firing.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I think because was in the news so much, it brought value to the show, and that brings value to ABC's pockets, and it
Mhm.
brings the advertisers continues to keep them on board. But other than that, you're right. I think it's he's dying a slow death. I mean, that's the best way I could say it.
And you said it at the beginning. I've never thought he was talented. My first memories of him are with the Adam Carolla used to have some kind of like man show or something like that. It
Yes,
was
him
like
and
a
Adam Carolla.
macho
Yep.
type,
Yep.
and Adam Carolla was funny,
Yes.
but I was
Yeah.
like, he was like the straight guy. You know what
Yes.
I mean? He didn't
Yeah.
have no humor, and
Hmm.
he's always been called a comedian. I have never watched a Jimmy Kimmel show because I already thought he wasn't funny. So I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to watch a show of him.
Yeah, I
So,
would say he's the weakest comedian of the late night guys. So some of the other guys were true comedians in the beginning. But like you said, I think Adam Carolla was the one that carried him. He's way funnier.
oh yeah, and like I think Adam Carolla has lost it a little bit, but
Hmm.
he did have it.
Yeah,
I've I've never seen Kimmel have it.
right. Agreed.
I've never even him, like what's his name that was from Saturday Night Live? Is his name Fallon?
Oh, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. Like I don't think he's extremely funny, but he has funny moments in his
Yes.
shows. I'm always
Yeah.
seeing a highlight that
Yeah.
I watch and he's funny. He's
Hmm.
definitely at the bottom. So was Kimmel's emotional defense genuine or just damage control, Mike?
Um.
Because to me
I,
it sounded like he was saying the bare minimum to live another day.
yes. I think that's the best way to describe it. Yeah, he said just enough to live another day. He didn't flat out give any kind of an apology that had been asked for. However, he did everything in his power to uh, I don't know what you want to call it, smooth the airwaves towards, Erica Kirk and towards that organization, and brought up the fact that he would never wish death or violence on anybody. He said all the little hot talking buttons, but to me it was a little bit too late and a little disingenuous. I think.
I agree 100%. I've had conversations about this Jimmy Kimmel thing with several people, and I irritate everybody I talk to because they can't pin me down to a side because I'm
Hmm.
on both sides of this issue.
Yep.
I think he's talentless and he's been kept because of him of political propaganda that he speaks. But on the flip side, I believe strongly in freedom of speech, and I don't discern or judge or try to pick what's right or wrong. Hey, if they want to pay him millions of dollars and lose money and put him on TV every week, go for it. And you know what? I can continue to do what I've been doing. I've never watched.
Yeah, I'm in complete and total support of putting him on TV for his 12 viewers to watch.
Yeah, because here's my thing, Mike. I'll hear some smart person say periodically what I just said, but it doesn't seem to stick with the masses. You don't have to complain about anything you hear or watch. You can just click away, and
Mm,
there'll be thousands of other choices that fit just what you want.
yeah, agreed.
So I think that this is just all political theater. There's no substance to it from either side. Both see it as a almost like a trampoline or a jumping off point to push their ideologies an inch further.
Well, Phil, think of it this way, and we've talked about this many times on the podcast. Once again, this has everything to do with money and what is going on behind the scenes. And you got to realize that some of these um, organizations like ABC and Sinclair that's banning them right now, and they've got future mergers that are on the table that have to be
Hmm.
approved by the FCC. There's all sorts of, Disney is in control of this, but there's different departments of that company, and so there's a lot of politics and money involved behind the scenes, and I don't think any of it has to really do with Jimmy Kimmel. He's just a pawn in this, unfortunately, as are all of us as citizens arguing one way or another whether he has the right to be there or whether he said something bad or not. We're all caught in this this big thing that's going on behind the scenes, and really it's about money, advertising, and whether or not these organizations can make a buck. So I
Yeah,
just
yeah. It's just like everybody's giving a big pat on the back on the right to the two affiliates who have decided not to air.
yeah,
But if you dig a little deeper, they are both in the midst of
yeah,
deals to obtain more affiliates.
yes, which
So
have to be approved by the Trump administration. So they have more incentive to pander up to them, cozy up to the Trump guys, particularly the FCC chairman. And yeah, I mean, so this is politics at its height.